up on Confidential, the end of the Intercontinental era.
Pat Patterson set the standard on what an Intercontinental champion should be.
First night I won it, I remember I got back to my hotel room and I set it up on my TV stand and I just stared at it for about 2 hours.
Hi everyone, I'm Gene Okerlund and welcome to WWE Confidential. The hit series Tough Enough 3 debuted this past Thursday on MTV with a 1-hour casting special. 13 finalists were chosen to begin training in hopes of one day becoming a WWE superstar. Clearly, this season's training regimen has been stepped up a couple of notches. Joining us here in the studio a little later on tonight, my good friend, Tough Enough 3's very own John Big Gaborek. He'll fill us in on what we can expect from TE3. But first up tonight, the Intercontinental Championship. A few weeks ago on Raw, Eric Bischoff announced that the Intercontinental title would be absorbed into the World Heavyweight Championship. Tomorrow night at No Mercy, Kane will have the honor and privilege of bringing that hallowed championship to the ring for the very last time in his match versus Triple H. Win or lose, the Intercontinental title will cease to exist from that point forward. Most WWE champions at one time or another held the Intercontinental title. Starting back in 1979 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, WWE Hall of Famer Pat Patterson defeated Ted DiBiase. As you might expect, with such a rich history and tradition, the retirement of the IC title has not been a very popular decision.
Tonight's final bout is for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship from San Francisco, California. The current Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, Pat Patterson.
There couldn't have been a better selection for the first Intercontinental champion than Pat Patterson. Pat was probably one of the finest technicians in the ring and the greatest psychologist in the ring of all time. He set the standard on what an Intercontinental champion should be.
Having gone back and seen tapes of what he could do, I think he was a fitting first champion. I remember a street fight he had with Sergeant Slaughter in Madison Square Garden. That was one that stood out for me, and the cage match with Backlund, which was also in Madison Square Garden. Pat could take people and have them believe whatever he was doing. He'd always tell a story. He'd have the people in the palm of his hands, and that is the mark of a true professional.
When you look at the list of guys that have won the title, most, if not all, of the top guys have won this title.
You always knew when someone won the Intercontinental title that it was almost like a launching pad to bigger and better things.
I think the Intercontinental title was a who's who of some of the greatest superstars in WWF history. It was a stepping stone to the WWF Championship, and it was pretty much a breakthrough championship. If a talent was able to become Intercontinental Champion, it said, hey, I made it.
It's a great way to elevate yourself to the status of a contender for a WWE title shot. Most of the Intercontinental champions have gone on to win a WWE title. Some of the champions are some of the all-time greatest to me. The magnificent Morocco, Intercontinental champion, Roddy Piper, Greg Valentine, Tito Santana. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
So many other guys, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Rock, Stone Cold. You knew when these guys won the Intercontinental title that it was just starting to become their time.
The Intercontinental Championship has elevated some of the recent superstars to WWE superstar status. For instance, Kurt Angle. Well, Kurt went out and immediately grabbed that Intercontinental Championship.
That was my first big title reign, and it let me know right away that I was going to make a big difference in the World Wrestling Entertainment industry. So to me, winning that title felt every bit as important as winning the WWE title.
Anytime that you're kind of given that ball, it's a special feeling because you know you're doing something right.
The winner of this bout, and new
First night I won it, I remember I got back to my hotel room and I set it up on my TV stand and I just stared at it for about 2 hours. I couldn't stop staring at it. It was just, it was like the center of my universe at that point.
Young men like Edge, young men like Triple H, all these superstars that come along, it has been used as a stepping stone because these men grabbed that gold ring and that Intercontinental Championship and elevated themselves and show what they could do with an Intercontinental Championship.
For the most part, when you look at the Intercontinental Champion, you look at someone who is being groomed or who is looking for that next step, which was ultimately the WWF title.
If I knew I wanted to see a damn good wrestling match, I was going to watch Randy Savage and Ricky Steamboat.
Those two men who were at the top of their game, wow, the chemistry and the electricity was flowing. And to me, that match overshadowed everything on WrestleMania 3.
What a battle! This is one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. But the champion still in control. No, small package by the Dragon.
Goes down in my mind as an instant classic and a measuring stick to all Intercontinental Title Championship matches.
Intercontinental Champion, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
The first match that stands out to me, which obviously I was influenced heavily by, was the Shawn Michaels vs. Razor Ramon ladder match at WrestleMania 10.
We'll witness for the first time ever at a WrestleMania a ladder match. I cannot believe it! Ramon is the undisputed Intercontinental Champion.
There was the Bret Hart vs. Kurt Hennig classic Intercontinental title match.
The sharpshooter! He's got it! He's got it! No! He's got it! We've got a new champion!
You hear about the Pat Pattersons and all the other people that have won this Intercontinental title throughout the past, and you know it holds a lot of credibility. It continues to do so, and it's a shame that we're not going to have that title anymore.
I think the idea to consolidate the championships is an attempt to simplify things. Only having one champion, one single champion, and one goal for everyone to work for.
To me, it leaves a gap in the middle now that I don't know what you fill it with.
I never got a chance to hold the Intercontinental title, and I hate that just because I saw so many guys that were great and so many guys that finally reached a level where they could win the Intercontinental title and then move on to bigger and better things, and I wanted to be that guy.
The Intercontinental Champion, I think, starting with Pat Patterson, has always been a strong tradition in the WWE. It's meant something. I think the fans enjoy it, and I think it will be missed, and I'm sorry to see it go.
Unfortunately, my dear friend, the legendary Pat Patterson, was not available to be interviewed for our salute to the Intercontinental Championship. As you recall, last Monday on Raw, Pat was brutally attacked by Eric Bischoff's henchmen, Rosie and Jamal. Pat suffered a very serious shoulder injury. He is now in the care of world-renowned surgeon Dr. James Andrews. We're all awaiting word on whether or not Pat will need surgery. All of us here on Confidential, Patrick, are wishing you a very speedy recovery. Patrick, quite a golfer indeed. What, a 4 or 5 handicap or RB?
25.
Oh, a 25. Pat, we hope to see you on the links before you know it.
When we return, the WWE and Saliva rock together.
Saliva, absolutely, but in the legendary status, in the pantheon of rock and roll history, Fozzy definitely goes down as the biggest rock and roll band.
Music has always been a crucial ingredient in the success of the WWE. Superstars including Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Motley Crue, and Kid Rock, they've all performed live at WWE events. This past year at WrestleMania 18, Saliva blew the roof off Toronto's Skydome before more than 67,000 fans. You might say it was the beginning of a beautiful relationship. Earlier this month, Saliva completed a special tribute to Chris Jericho entitled King of My World. It will be available exclusively on the WWE Anthology CD. No question about it, when the WWE and Saliva get together, they always rock the house.
Welcome to Toronto Skydome! Welcome to the greatest sports entertainment extravaganza of all time! WrestleMania! Make me a superstar! Yeah! Don't matter who you are!
2, 3, 4.
We've been up here in Bearsville recording for almost 2 months now. It's kind of distractionless, if you will. Keeps us focused on the game.
Coming to a place like this out in the country in upstate New York, it just brings a different vibe to the whole recording process. As intense as rock and roll is, a lot of times it's really nice to balance that out with a low-key flavor of the country. We were in the studio a little while ago and a deer walked by outside the studio, obviously a Saliva fan.
It's a very evil deer. Evil deer.
I first got involved with Saliva back with XFL and did a track with them then again on Forcible Entry. So over the years we've developed a great relationship, and it just led sort of naturally to this project with Chris Jericho and King of My World.
I like the band Saliva. I have their first record. They're a pretty good band. That's why when I heard they were doing the music, I thought I was excited about it. As a song, it's solid. It's tight, and the chorus was catchy and had some good harmonies in it vocal-wise.
The message is about someone who is in total control of themselves and the world around them, and won't be kept down, won't let anything get in their way.
A song like this is all about the emotion and the power of each section of the song. I heard it and immediately I knew there was magic in it for Saliva.
It's definitely WWE, It fits with the whole program, it fits with the whole product.
I think it's just everything that, Chris Jericho and the WWE stands for. It's low and chunky, and it's still metal, it's still rock, it still rocks the crowd, it's got bounce to it. We like to play songs that have bounce to them. If you can't bob your head to it, then we don't want nothing to do with it, really.
I think Saliva is the pick for just about any project I would do now, because I think they are on the cusp of becoming truly one of the preeminent, important rock bands out there.
At this moment, Saliva, absolutely, but in the legendary status, in the pantheon of rock and roll history, Fozzy definitely goes down as the biggest rock and roll band.
I wouldn't mind playing with him sometime, man. That'd be kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Do a show somewhere.
Yeah, we might not kick his ass in the ring, but we wax his ass. Got anything to say about it? We can go WWE style.
I'll never see any side of heaven. I've walked for miles to a blazing hell. It doesn't matter what you think I'm supposed to be, because I myself know all too well. I'll open your eyes and make you see I'm the king of my world, king of my world. I break down the walls around you. I'm the king of my world, king of my world. I break down the walls around you.
Up next, The Big Show shares a tale from the graveyard.
Think of Boss Man pulling up with that Blues Brothers car, which just makes me chuckle every time I think about it. Where on earth did he get this car?
You know those incidents that occur in life, and you know you're not supposed to watch, but you sort of can't help yourself, so you kind of peek through your fingers, as if that somehow lessens the blow and makes it okay? Well, that's kind of how I feel about the subject of this week's Confidential Flashback.
A lot of movie companies have shot at cemetery sites, but I guarantee you they had no idea what was to come that day. Bossman did a great job of playing that sick, evil person that would go where no one would want him to go.
My daddy, wah, my daddy's gone.
Bossman played that part fantastic. You know, he gave me, you know, that evil genius that you just want to get your hands on and choke the very air out of.
I don't feel sorry for your dad one single bit. The old geezer's got one foot in the grave and you gave him nothing to be proud of.
Yeah, I remember the phone. It was hysterical.
I'm sorry to hear your dad finally croaked. He lived a full life on his own terms. Soon he'll be buried and eaten by worms. But if I could have a son as stupid as you, I'd have wished for cancer so I would die too. So be brave and be strong. Get your life on track, cause the old bastard's dead and he ain't never coming back.
People actually felt bad for me and were behind me and they wanted to see me, you know, stomp a mud hole in the Bossman. So it was pretty creative how they did everything at the funeral. It was pretty funny.
Big Show started to deliver the eulogy. He only got a few words into the eulogy and we hear Bossman over a loudspeaker. In the background of the shot, we see the Blues Brothers Chevy drive up into the cemetery.
Nobody's gonna bring him back.
There he was, making fun of the whole proceedings as he had all along.
Hey, Miss White, now that you're a single woman, would you like to go out with a man like me?
No, you don't, you son of a... Not my mama. No, you don't.
A fight erupted, and we were off to the races.
Actually, I busted the Blues Brothers windshield when I got first hit by the car, you know, and we were trying to be quiet about it because they were getting testy about their car.
Big Show was incapacitated long enough for Bossman to fasten a chain to the casket.
The part where I dive on the casket, I was clowning around at that point. It was cold and hungry, and we're there for a long time shooting this thing. I was just trying to make light and make everybody laugh. Had this been a real casket theft attempt, I would have foiled theft.
Big Show jumping on his father's casket was, of course, the payoff of the entire segment.
I had all my family and all my friends, you know, were watching TV. I'm like, wait till you guys see it. This is so serious, you know, this is serious. I get hit by the car, you know, and all this stuff, you know. And then when I dive on the casket, everybody in my house, my living room starts laughing. And that's not the reaction I wanted. I actually got mad at home. I'm like, it's not funny, it's serious. And then I'm thinking, wow, maybe we need to make light of it. Maybe it was getting too serious. People say this is in bad taste. You know what? Hey, it was my father that we were talking about. Be sensitive about something else. Be sensitive about the ozone layer. Be sensitive about world hunger. You know, don't get your arms up in the air over an angle, you know, on TV.
I think that the most tragic moments in life make the best comedy.
You can start crying, ladies and gentlemen.
Think of Bossman pulling up with that Blues Brothers car, which just makes me chuckle every time I think about it, you know. It's, where on earth did he get this car? You know what I mean? Only a WWE superstar could pull that off. It was great.
Coming up next, the inside scoop on Tough Enough 3 from John Gaborik.
Yesterday,
come with me now.
We cut somebody who didn't live up to what we needed in order to be a part of Tough Enough 3.
And now, the WWE Rewind is brought to you by Atari's Godzilla. Destroy all monsters melee.
The next thing I knew, Wendell was falling all over the place.
Wendell, get up and do it or get out. I do not have time for this. Medic, Dan, take a look at him, even though I don't think you need to.
I'll show you. Don't patronize me.
And don't waste your time.
Joining us now in the studio is Tough Enough's very own John Big Gaborik. And Big, welcome, congratulations. Thursday's casting special was absolutely fantastic. Al Snow here on the Rewind just moments ago was really tearing into one of the contestants. Is there going to be a new level of intensity for Tough Enough this season?
Well, you know, Gene, this season on Tough Enough, we really tried to emphasize the word tough. Being in this business, as you know, it's a brutal business. And one of the things that the trainers try to do is to convey to the kids and to the audience how tough it really is. So this season, tough is the key word of Tough Enough.
All right, the selection process was much different this year. I'm kind of curious why.
Well, you know, we try to keep the show and make it different each season. And one of the things that we wanted to do this season is to make it more intimate, is to get to know these contestants a little bit more in detail. So we had a regional casting call where we brought 75 people to the 3 cities, Denver, New Orleans, and Chicago. And then we brought the best 21 of them out to Los Angeles to train.
What you are saying then, there is a difference this year as compared to the previous 2 seasons.
Well, the first 2 seasons we had a big extravaganza, both in New York and in Las Vegas. This season it was more detailed and more intimate.
Is it true that there almost wasn't a home for Tough Enough 3? I've heard some things.
Well, you know, you're going to get an exclusive here on Confidential.
I like that.
Next week, I believe. We had some problems with a star of another show who owned a property in Malibu, and we were going to have the property next to his. He decided that he did not want to let us have it and went before the city council and caused some problems.
Big, if you're here with me, you know, I'm not opposed to name dropping. You could tell our vast viewing audience who it is.
Well, between you and I, Gene, it's Kelsey Grammer of Frasier, but that's between you and I.
Kind of what I figured. Now, I understand you've arranged for a special tour of the house exclusively on Confidential. Is that true?
I have. You're going to be seeing here on Confidential a all-access pass of the house that we have in the Calabasas Mountains. Ivory, one of our trainers, is going to give you a all-access tour through the entire house, each room, and see it all in detail. By the way, this house, and this is right from MTV, this is the nicest house that they've ever used for any of their shows.
That looked very, very nice on camera. Now, Big, when Tough Enough went off the air on MTV this past Thursday night, you were very, very upset. Why?
Well, you know, it's hard to say, Gene. You're going to see next week. We have a responsibility to everybody who wants to become a professional wrestler and a sports entertainer to pick the very best people. Unfortunately, as you're going to find out next week, something occurs that gets me a little bit ticked off. And maybe we could have done a better job with this one kid, but you're going to have to tune in next week to find out.
All right, Big, what are the major differences with your cast this year and the cast of the previous 2 seasons?
Well, the alumni of Tough Enough, Maven, Chris Nowinski, and Nydia, and Jackie and Linda, they are athletic. And one of the things that we wanted to find this season are athletes like they are. So this season, hopefully, we found 13, the 13 that you just saw picked last week, 13 that are athletes. And all the WWE superstars, if they have one thing in common, it's their passion, drive, commitment, and that they are athletes in the truest sense of the word. So that's what we were looking for this season. Hopefully, this season compared to last season, we found 13 instead of just a couple.
All right, it is a very exciting show. It's very entertaining. Good luck to you on your 3rd season for Tough Enough. And don't forget now, coming up, it's going to be the premiere this Thursday, right after SmackDown, 10 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on MTV. Big.
Thanks, Gene.
Good luck to you.
Thank you
Thanks
very much.
a million.
Up next, the superstars' favorite entrances.
You know, I love Rey Mysterio's entrance. I wish they could do that with me, but they don't got enough pressure, back pressure to get me up.
Celebrities in all walks of life are often accused of forgetting their roots. In some cases, it's probably not such a bad idea. But don't tell that to Booker T. Although he grew up in a very tough section of Houston, Texas, Booker has never lost touch with his community. As a matter of fact, Booker is the kind of guy who puts his money where his mouth is.
Hey, what's going on? It's Booker T, 5-time WCW champion, and this is Gym Zone, where it's located is southwest Houston, side of town I lived on when I was coming up, you know, doing all my dastardly deeds. The reason for opening the store, I've lived here all my life, and the store is just something, you know, something to have in the community to reach out to a lot of the kids, you know, just to give back a little bit of, you know, something that's given me so much, and the people who have put me in a position to do something like this. Well, here we got the latest in footwear. We got Nike, you know, a lot of the sandals, you know, that's hot right now. We got some of the hottest and latest fashions, you know. That little number right there, that's real hot, you know. You can only get that at Jam Zone. As far as merchandising in the store, we have Fat Form, Sean John. We got CDs, we got PlayStation CDs, we got videos, all the latest in hip hop and R&B and jazz and gospel as well. And we just try to cater to, like I say, the community. Up here, you know, right now I'm not selling, you know, the WWE merchandising, but I just wanted to, you know, represent, you know, for all the WWE superstars. I got many different titles, I guess, you know, handyman, cashier, stock boy, CEO. It's a very small shop, so you got to pretty much do everything, you know. You got to vacuum the floor, and I don't mind doing that. And it sets an example for anyone that's working for me also. There's my boy D right here, you know, he on the job 24/7 doing that thing. I try to make sure my face is in here every day throughout that week, no matter whether I'm tired or whatnot, you know. It's just, I just feel like it's my responsibility. Without me being there, hands-on, I don't feel like it's gonna work as well as it could. Me, Booker T, being the WWE fashion guru, now I'm gonna show you guys what fashion is really all about. Let's check out some of these outfits. That's what I'm talking about right here. But you can't get it nowhere but Jam Zone. Peace! That's it. When I first opened the store, you know, God told me, had I ever been in retail, and I told him no, you know, and he was like, well, good luck, you know. And it was kind of funny, but before I became a professional wrestler, I had no training, you know, so it's really not about how much money I make at it. Hopefully it'll be a great success, but if I'm here for 5 years and just break even and have, you know, touched a lot of kids and, you know, helped some people, it'll be worth it.
Everyone likes to make a grand entrance. Booker T is one of my personal favorites. Superstar entrances have certainly progressed over the years. It wasn't that long ago that there wasn't a Titantron or entrance videos. As a matter of fact, there wasn't even music. In the old days, everyone's entrance was exactly the same. Boring. Nowadays, superstar entrances have become as unique as the characters.
The entrance that I think was the best that I ever saw was Stone Cold Steve Austin. Energy that used to rip through the building was incredible, and he'd come strutting out doing that walk that he did, that power walk to the ring. I've never seen anybody get that kind of explosion of the people. It was just something completely different that nobody else did.
Probably Shawn Michaels when he came down across the wire.
Unbelievable, what a ride!
Just seeing this guy slide down and all the charisma that he had anyway, he still had it up in the air when he was sliding, and just people went crazy, and it was just an awesome, awesome thing to see.
I would have to say that Gangrel would have to be my favorite entrance of all time.
You know, I love Gangrel's entrance. That was really unbelievable.
The lights used to go out, the Ring of Fire would come around the stage, and then they would lift him up very slowly.
You know, coming up to the burning flames, nice and slow, the place would go nuts.
and then he would get his ankles burned by the fire, and that was cool.
He's the light heavyweight champion, Gilbert. The Shock Master! All right. The Shock Master!
I'd say the best entrance I've seen in the business.
Today in wrestling period is The Undertaker's.
I love that rumble of the V-twin. Somebody comes out on that bike.
And that big long ramp that he drove down, it was electrifying. Everybody's like, wow. I mean, all the cameras that's going off, and he just revving that engine and comes right around the ring. I think that's the best entrance.
Coolest entrance now, present company, excluded, probably is Rey Mysterio.
One day they're gonna shoot him right over our head, Cole.
I wish they could do that with me. Then I got enough pressure to get me up.
Goldust has a really good entrance.
Do you like to watch him in the letterbox format like that? You know, like watching a movie at home?
I like Kurt Angle's entrance also.
What a way to kick it off, Cole! Olympic gold medal winner, Kurt Angle.
But right now, best entrance,
Oh, God!
I'm gonna go with my tag team partner, Kane.
Next week, the Confidential cameras will have an exclusive look inside the incredible home of the Tough Enough 3 contestants in beautiful Southern California. We'll also tell you how TV's Frasier, Kelsey Grammer, almost put an end to the dreams of the 13 finalists. Don't miss it. Well, that's all for this week. Remember, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.
Badly.
Because I done been the Intercontinental Champion, is I'm gonna forfeit the damn title to you tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, the new